Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more than the meta. So guys, I want to go ahead and show you some gameplay with me using the Carolina Panthers playbook. I do like this because it does have some really unique formations in it. It's got a lot of great formations that I like to run. I like to run a lot of match coverage, but in particular, one of the formations I'm really labbing right now is the 4-4 split. I'm using Engage 8 as my base play, and occasionally I switch into the cover 3 match, but I want to kind of show you the situations where I use it and when I get out of it with this gameplay. So I'm going against a Dallas Cowboys player using the Cowboys. Guy was pretty smart. He made pretty good decisions for the most part. He comes out of the wing slot offset, so whenever I see like heavier sets where there's maybe 2 tight ends and a running back, or 2 running backs and a tight end, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this. And usually what I like to do is I like to hit him with the Engage 8 right away. If I find like a second receiver that's out of position, I'm going to go ahead and man this guy up on the second receiver because I want to take away any kind of quick strike. And I usually want to play the second receiver on the inside, any kind of a running type situation. So right here, I got myself out of position, and he saw the seam. He played basically verticals against me, quick snapped it, and read it correctly and dotted me up. So it was a really good play right there. I got myself out of position. I should have played over that tight end, and that was a bad decision for me to play in the box like that because I had a man responsibility, especially using that heavy pressure. So he no huddles, and I think in this type of situation, I close up the box, and I think right here I man this guy up. And then my other responsibility is to go over there off to that tight end. He tries running the ball, and look at these guys are just this is dead. He's triangulated. He's got nowhere to go. He's fortunately falls forward for a yard, but it is a 2nd and 9, and that's one of the reasons why I like that formational front is that it just shuts down the run, so I don't have to worry about a run game if he's going to come out to that. Now, whenever I see the gun tray open or I see 3 wide receiver sets, I'm out of this. I'm done. I'm out of it. So I'm going to go into penny. One of the adjustments I like to do is I like to go ahead and use my slot at the cornerback position, and then I like to play a lot of cover 6. As my base defense. Realized that I didn't have my defense set up correctly. I like to baseline. I like to show my opponent some type of a baseline. He's able to go and get 4 yards on that, get a 3rd and 5. And I just know I'm out of complete position. So basically what I do is I press and I play the 3 hook defender, and I'm just playing right here. I think he had some type of, basically it was like a slant and a flat concept going right there. I carried over, and then he basically gets himself out of position. He did have this guy. He could have dot me up, but my rusher's in by now, and I force a bad pass. He throws it up to Fuller, and Fuller picks it off, and I get a lucky break right there. Because usually this Dolphins team is just doesn't really capitalize on bad passes for the most part. So on the next series, I get the ball all the way down in the field goal range, and I go for it in 4th and inches, and I realize that the running backs for the Dolphins, it's just really, they don't break tackles, they don't fall forward. So I have to dive when I need like a yard. I got to dive because there's a high probability that I'm not going to be able to get it if I hit a defender. I'm going to fall backwards, so it's very important to do that. Now, anytime I see basically tight open formations or tight formations, I like to run a nickel defense, and I'm always going to run like cover 3 hard flats. And the reason why is that a lot of players that when they play online, they're going to use mesh concepts. So basically they're going to have a crosser here, they're going to have a crosser here, they might have some type of a post or an in route. They'll have basically a route where they're just going to have a guy that's going to come down right here, and then they'll have that wheel. Well, anytime I see that, basically what I do is I don't anticipate. There's something I want to go ahead and anticipate, so I'll play the hook zone on the opposite side to try to look for any kind of crossers. And I like to QB contain, in these type of situations because he hasn't really ran too much against me, but I just want to make sure I take that away. He actually hits an inside whip and picks up some pretty good yards right there. Gets the 2nd and 2. So that was a good play right there. I go ahead and jump into basically Cloud as a change-up, and he actually hits me with a nice little inside zone. So the guy's switching it up, playing a no huddle, fast tempo type of game. Now I think I jump into seams. I press my guys down, and I play hard flats. I switch into hard flats right there, and he dots me up. I should have been in seams. Seems would have been the right route. But I didn't do that, and I get away with one. He should have never. He should have caught that. That was a dot. That was a perfect read by him, and I got away with a lucky one right there. So you know, you'll take it anytime you get those breaks when you're playing. Here's what I realized. I realized I didn't have my defense baseline, so I had to go and fix that. And now I jump into basically one of my favorite coverages, which is cover 6. And what I like to do is I like to put this guy out into a hard flat. I take the outside defender and put him into a deep third, and then I'm going to user this guy and look for anything that's kind of crossing over the middle of the field, and then just play down in the box for anything underneath. So here's my setup right here. He tries running the ball, and basically the guard comes out. I got a defender actually gets past his blocker, and basically I lock him up and get him to a 3rd and 8 situation. So anytime you get someone into 3rd and long, 4th and long, you're winning defensively because they're putting a bind when you do that. So now I jump into basically the 61 defense, and the goal of this defense, and if you run it correctly, you should get pressure off the edge and fast pressure. The problem with this particular play, though, is that if it gets blocked, you've got basically some holes in defense and stuff like that. So you're supposed to play down into the center and get the center preoccupied, because then it will lock up blocking, and this guy's going to come in and get easy pressure against that. And it does. I've labbed it. It did work pretty effectively, but I think what I did is when I ran this, I think I might have pulled out of the hole a little bit too easy. I kind of slid out, and I got myself crossed up chasing the running back, and actually hit 2 wide receivers, but he actually goes just with the leverage outside, deep out, and picks up a play. So now I jump into base, and I'm going to go ahead and stay once again, probably in penny, just because it's one of my more comfortable defenses I like to run. And what I do is I think I just go with, yeah, okay. So what I did is I did hard flats, because he's in this hard flats situation. I put a vert hook out here. I've got a 3 rec right here. I'm going to go ahead and user this guy over the middle of the field. So I've given him the look of the hard flats, but now I'm just giving him just a slightly different look. So if he tries to hit the seam, he's not going to be ready for it. And you can see he actually tries to hit it down to the flat. And I've got 2 defenders in there that could have been picked off right there. So goes into trips offset. I'm going to go ahead and stay in cover 6 once again. Set up the same defense as previously. I'm going to push my guys out. Take this guy, put him in a flat. I've got this guy into a deep third, and once again I'm just going to go ahead and try to take away anything crossing over the middle of the field, and just hope my defensive line can get home to give this guy some problems. I do like to run just 3-man rush. It's just my preference. You can see he actually drops it down. That's just a simple levels concept. Get up a tackle right there and get him into a 3rd and 7 situation, and this guy is just no huddle. He's just no huddle. I don't know what he saw, but I went ahead and set up the same defense again. Now I press guys down, and one adjustment I did is I did pass. I did pass a commit to make sure that I did not think he was going to run the ball, because this guy hasn't been running. He quick snaps the pass, but you can see right here this defender does not come down with it. He hits the ball, basically played the guy correctly. Now I switch into man coverage. He goes into empty base, and I'm finding right now that this 43-61 even man blitz actually has been working out a little bit better for me, so I do kind of like it as a blitz against like empty, because you can see these guys are all lined up correctly, and my dude who's supposed to be over the tight end lines up correctly. So the pressure's in. It just comes in flying. He's got to get rid of the ball quick, and because I took away one of his reads, I'm able to do that. So I get basically 7 points, and he's got 37 seconds left. He comes back in empty again. I'm like, okay, well, I had success with the 43-61 even. Why don't I go ahead and hit with this guy with an odd and hit him with just a typical man blitz to pinch O and just see how he responds to it. So drop the default, flip the play, go to the pinch O buck. And try to go ahead and hit this guy with some pressure out of this formation. I'm going to flip that play, and I've got pretty much 6 guys going. Everybody's lined up pretty good. I've got defenders on all spots right here. Pressure's coming in off the edge. Does get picked up slightly, and he basically torches me with CeeDee Lamb. What a good play. That's just a monster play right there. I got greedy. I tried to hit him with some man pressure again. I probably should have just mixed it up. And, you know, that's the thing, is that, like, one of the hardest players to play against when it comes defensively is people that mix things up and you don't give you the same tendencies over and over again. It's, for me, getting greedy like that, it was not a good choice. So now he jumps into strong close. So he's got basically 2 running backs and 1 tight end. I can jump back into this engage 8 defense. So I go ahead and do so. And basically I press these guys down. I got to stay away from that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and man up this guy right here on the line, on the tight end. And let's see if I get another adjustment. No, pressure comes in right here, and he just can't get rid of the ball. So he did have like a trail concept, and just the pressure comes in so quick he doesn't know what to do with it. Goes into tray open, so I'm just going to get out of that, go into penny. And now he's got the formation set up to the opposite side, so I've got to flip the play, and I get myself out of position. He's got some crossing routes, but because I actually flipped the play and I had my quarters concept off to the right, you could see he quickly snaps into that. He doesn't know where to go with the ball, and he just makes a bad decision. I don't know what he was doing with that. So I'm still back once again in right here, and this is what I do. Is I think what I did is I jumped into a variation of cover 2. So one of the reasons why I do like cover 6 is that if I can make these adjustments correctly on these 3 defenders at the snap of the ball, I can convert this into a cover 2 match, which is very difficult to get into. You have to actually completely audible into a cover 2 match, but it does give people problems if they're expecting it. So basically what I did is I put this guy into a soft squat, I put him to a hook zone, and I put this guy into a deep half out here, and I'm just going to use her over the middle of the field, and this is going to be cover 2 match coverage. And what this does is it passes off people underneath, and he didn't know where to go with it. He actually tries to throw it, and this corner comes back and plays it and picks him off once again. So I'm getting stops against this guy. You know, things are working for me defensively because I'm just feeling it with this defense. So now he jumps into tray open. I'm going to go back to cover 6 is my base play, and you can see he's got his trip side over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and jump into cover 9. Now cover 9 is basically cover 6. It's just everything's inverted, and I want to basically have my quarter side off to this side. I'm going to play in the middle of the field, but my responsibility is to get out to that third wide receiver. He tries running the ball, and then I think he huddles once again because it's his tendencies. And I've got cover 9 set up. You can see my guys are out. And here he throws right to my user. No. Walker's out of position. He pops me, completes the ball, but you can see actually he was really challenging my user, and I do not get interception. So I jump into basically cover 2 match again, and you can see he doesn't know where to go with it, and I get a coverage sack right there, get him to a 2nd and 16 situation. So now he goes ahead and no huddles quickly, and I've got basically cover 2 out there, and you can see this defender basically falls back into that zone, gets his back turned around, but because of cover 6 he didn't really know where to go with it. And it's 3rd and 16. I want to pressure somebody in this type of situation, so I go ahead and set up pressure. I'm pulling down Holland against this guy, get down in the box, and the pressure's coming in, but look at this. This guy, he knows what to do against man coverage blitzes. Like he's got his reads down, but when he gets himself against like match coverages, that's where he makes mistakes. So, and I had one stop with basically with man pressure, but every time I jumped in man with other types of situations, he just lit me up. So now he comes back to this front again, where he's got a wing set out here. He's got his running back and tight end, and I try to switch it up. I jump into cover 3 match and push my line over so he doesn't have any kind of leverage with the run. And he just doesn't read it correctly, so he just messed up. He didn't read it correctly. I played over the middle of the box. He tried to throw it underneath me, and I had a defender that floated up in there and picked him off. And we ended up getting a rage quit against them after I get a first down and put them in a situation where I'm milking the clock. So I just kind of will show you some of the things I do as far as my defensive adjustments. I am not a defensive guru, but these are things that I do, and I just wanted to share this stuff with you guys and just kind of give you a better idea on like how you could potentially get more stops and things you could do, how I play my coverages and all that kind of stuff. So once again, guys, I want to thank you for your support, and if you do like this stuff, please comment below. Let me know what your favorite playbook is below, and until next time.